Hey everybody, Dr. Larson here. In today's video, I want to introduce a little bit of a paradigm shift about acupuncture. So let's set acupuncture aside for a minute, and I just want to talk to you a little bit about human history. See, humans need to eat, and it was a real breakthrough when humans first developed farming. And in those early days of humanity, the ability to grow food where you lived was a game changer, because then you could have a base of operations and live where you wanted to live, and ultimately you could develop civilization. But early days of farming basically consisted of one farmer with a sharp stick, maybe, being able to work the soil and plant, and through day in and day out, all day long, backbreaking effort, could maybe raise enough food to feed one person. And if you have a family, then the whole family is going to have to labor, and all your labor is essentially going to be involved in trying to grow food. That all changed when farming methods improved a little bit and when people learned to domesticate animals, because then they could amplify the effort of one person. When you think about it, one person with their sharp stick can probably drag it with, I don't know, 50 pounds of force in the dirt and can only do a certain amount of dirt moving in a day. But if you have a couple of oxen that you can hitch up to a plow, that same one person, in driving and steering the oxen, can use the animal muscle to amplify their effort. And you end up being able to pull not with 50 pounds of force, but maybe with 1,500 pounds of force. And now you can really move a lot of soil. And one person can now not only feed themselves and maybe feed their family, but also perhaps generate a surplus, be able to feed others too. Well, then you have mechanical devices that come along. You have tractors. You have the ability to even more efficiently and more effectively farm. You have modern irrigation methods, so you can get water to the plants more effectively. You have electric pumps to move water. All of these things mean that one farmer can now feed many, many people, and it's always based on being able to amplify the efforts of one person. Of course, you can take that too far. I'm not speaking in favor of industrialized farming and chemicals and all of that. But keeping it in the right balance on a whole, it's sure a lot better to have a tractor than to have a sharp stick. So with that in mind, I want to take that analogy and apply it to our practices, talking about what we call active and passive acupuncture. Ancient acupuncture, traditionally, you would use a sharp stick, whether that's a bone or a needle or whatever your modality was. You would treat a point, and even with more modern needles and sterile stainless steel and so on, you put the needle in the point and you wait for the magic to happen, right? It's going to collect chi like an antenna from the universe. It's going to draw chi, it's going to move chi, and it's going to work, but it takes a long time. There's only so much that you can do with one needle or per needle. It's going to take more time, more effort, more visits. But if you were able to amplify that power, amplify what one practitioner can do by using better tools, just like in the farming example, you can get a lot more done with active acupuncture, because now we have ways to actively add chi, to actively move chi, to actively tell where the chi needs to go. And whether you're using electroacupuncture to put beneficial chi in through electricity, using laser or other forms of light, using infrared, using mechanical movement, there are a lot of ways that you can actively move that chi more quickly, more effectively, more powerfully. So ultimately you get better results in less time. Is it possible to take that too far, just like farming? Well, sure. You still have to spend time with your patients. It's still one-on-one, it's still hands-on, it's still that connection and that relationship that I talked about, but it can be done much more effectively when you have the right tools. So, my tip for today, my challenge to you, is to consider in what ways are you the farmer with the sharp stick, and in what ways are you the farmer that has learned to harness the power of animals or of machinery to amplify the results and to be able to get more done more effectively and ultimately bless more lives. To put a finer point on it, what tools, what techniques, what modalities, what technologies might you be able to add in your practice to not only get better results more quickly, but to also better meet those expectations that your patients have about acupuncture. And how would adding a tool like that greatly magnify your practice? Just like adding a tool to farming didn't just double the output of one farmer, but it made it 10 times, 20 times, 50 times what it was. Consider that. We'll talk again. Hey everybody, I hope you liked that video and found it useful. The idea that you can use tools and technology to amplify your results is really foundational to the practice you want to have. We are the acupuncture technology people. We have the tools that are tested, that are proven, and that really get the job done. So take a look below. We've got some links. You can find out more. You can consider things that will be very helpful in your practice, and we'll talk again soon.